Welcome to the Man United show. We are live. Yes, we are live. No. Oh, yes. It's a setup. Nathan set me up. Yeah, there was a little bit of a mishap earlier. There we are. It's all about the suspense. Paul, it's about the build-up, the anticipation. Yeah. When you get something you want, all the time, it loses that edge. Yeah. When you don't get it, when it's taken away from you or spoon-fed, drip-fed, you appreciate it more. And I know you, Paul James, appreciate us. All right? I know that's what that is. All right, he's finally joined me. It's my co-host, Nathan Ellerton. How you doing, Nathan?
I'm good, thanks. I'm good.
That's
Sorry, guys, for keeping you a bit late.
all right. That's all right. Like I said, I told him. It's about
Don't need to
building
tell
up.
them why, do you?
No, I didn't. That's you. That's you. Wow. I'm not
I
that
was
guy.
playing FIFA.
That's you. He just outed himself. He had to get that game in, apparently. Waiting for 6 hours. Don't do that, Paul. Don't do that. Don't do that. That was my
No,
fault.
sorry, Paul.
I got the days wrong. That's my fault, all right? And he's not going to let me forget about it. But we can move on from there. There's a lot of people in the comments section tonight already. A lot of people watching. I know this is going to be a good one. I want all your points of view. I want your participation in this fully. This is essentially like you being in this pod with us tonight, yeah? Because there's a lot to talk about. All right. First and foremost, Nathan, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling all right. Obviously, there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to think about. There's news coming here and there. There's rumors. I don't know what's real, what's not. I just was on YouTube a minute ago and I've seen someone saying Conte agrees to United after the City game. So I don't know what to believe. I don't know what's happening. You tell me, Kiers, if that's true.
I've heard nothing with regards to anything officially done or
Right.
anything behind the scenes, but there has been work. They have spoken. So anyone that's trying to say that Man United have not spoken to Conte when they're this close to potentially having to change manager, it's nonsense. Like, of course they are. They would have they'd have written up a shortlist. They'd have put the feelers out to who would be available. That's why you're hearing stories about Ten Hag is saying he's not going to be available to the end of the season. You wouldn't hear these things if there wasn't questions asked.
Yeah.
So
We
the
know
reason
he's
why
not
you
available.
hear, the reason why you hear these questions is because the questions have been asked, and the reason why Conte said that he would be available only for Man United when he doesn't normally come out of take over jobs halfway through the season is because he's been asked, and it means he would be willing to take the job. However, Ole Gunnar Solskjær is currently in the job right now. They're getting prepared for the Tottenham game, the game they're calling El Sacco, which is a tad harsh considering Man United are currently sitting in 6th in the league and Tottenham are sitting in 5th in the league. It's madness, but those are the expectations of these clubs. All right. First of all, Nathan, the dressing room stories. The split. There seems to be some form of something happening bubbling underneath. You're starting to hear stories come out about players have approached the manager and questioning him on certain decisions.
Good.
Is this a natural thing to happen within a team? The players will ask. Would it be more players up in a hierarchy of kind of things, or would it be the captain's going to be asking, a certain player would be asking? It doesn't matter.
No, I think every player is to their own and they all say their own thing. Like, listen, Gaffer, why are you not playing me? Like, why are you taking the mick for? Man's injured. You're saying you got to fight for your place. He's injured. He's come back. He's not even fully fit, or he is fit, whatever. He's not even playing well, and you're not giving me a chance. Donny's sitting there, and everyone will be sitting in the changing room. I'm sure people will be talking to Donny saying, Donny, mate, I just can't believe he's not picking you. That's what they'll be saying. I can't believe he's not picking you. You know? And why is he not playing you? And you've been at Ajax, you this and that. And that's what everyone will be saying. Like, come on, the boys are not playing well. And he's just sticking to his same team like he ain't got no other options. Like the year before when we could all give him a blight because he didn't have much options. We had Pereira, all these Dan James, Pereira, these players that you thought, okay, they're not better than the other, the team. So, you can not blame him for trying to stick to that 11 and all that. But now we've got We got more. We got so many players in each position. It's ridiculous. We got
Yeah.
too many players in each position. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You
So,
know.
so the two main players that would be that have valid reasons to question the manager and definitely approach him about it is Eric Bailly. We're starting him.
Yep. Yep. Clearly.
Maguire was injured. There was a lot of fanfare about the fact that Maguire was coming back for that game against Leicester, but it turned out to be the wrong decision. And since then, yes, he got that goal against Villarreal, wasn't it, or Atalanta? Sorry, but he's still not been sharp. He's not match fit. There's something there. He's
Right.
playing on injury or something.
No.
Why is it? What? No,
No.
that's him.
That's him.
That's him.
If you watch the previous games, he was the same. He was getting run ragged by everybody. In every game this season, he's been run ragged. He's been turned inside out. He's been turned on the halfway line. He's dragged people back. He should have been sent off. He's been poor. He has been poor. The reason why is because Ole wanted to go a little bit more attacking. Even with the Fred and McTominay, you notice that in the Leeds game, he wanted to let McTominay go forward a bit more. And that's what he said. When we played against Leeds, they go man for man, so let's let him go forward a bit more. And that's what we were doing. And that's why we got run ragged by everybody. Everybody. And he has not been good. And it's not about he come out injured and he's come back. You can't lose your fitness and sharpness in 2 weeks. I'm telling you, once you're fully fit, and if you lose a week and a half or whatever, you've come back, you've played 3 games anyway.
Mm-hmm.
He's the same. That's what he is. That's his level. Unless you get all compact and sit back and have no one running behind him, he's going to be better. But until then, we're going to be bad. And we're not going to be that team because Ole wants to get forward. He wants to expand. But you can't expand with them boys. So he's fighting. That's why I'm saying he's not going to change what he's going to change.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm thinking we've got to change something. And I've always said, bring someone in that can change this way that we're playing. Or you got to leave, Ole. Simple, because you're going to continue with Maguire and you're going to want to have them battles of wanting to attack, but knowing you can't attack, but then sticking with Maguire. It doesn't make sense.
Do you think it's a case of they're not taking his instruction, or do you think there's lack of their instruction?
There is no instruction. It's clear to see. Everyone can see it. Even Owen Hargreaves listening to him. There is no shape whatsoever. And I don't know where they keep saying this McKenna's a genius. Why ain't he showing his genius abilities to teach these guys then? But he's not showing me no genius anything at the moment. We are playing the worst football. And what I'm seeing is players standing there saying, go there, come here, come short, come here. You know, you see them always pointing to everyone to move to where you want them. But when you look at Liverpool, they're already moving to where you want them because they've been told to be there. They've been told. These are your options. Remember I said before, the players, you can see them moving into position straight away to close down in the right positions. When the ball's here, when the ball's there, they move. And everyone knows you got to come up here. You got to cross across, move across. When the ball comes there, you've got to move across and you've got to come back now. That's what they do. But United, they're all over the place. Let's press, guys. Oh, I swear all he's saying is, let's press. And let's work hard. Let's play better.
You say that they say that Kieran McKenna's a genius and should be helping in the back. But there's also stories that he's potentially going to be losing his job. Do you think that Ole could use him as a scapegoat and bring someone else in? Do you think that would you think he would even do that?
Look, he has to do something. And right now, he ain't got the answers himself, that's for sure. So he has to bring someone in that's going to implement a style of play that we're talking about these other managers being able to do. He could still do it because the way I've seen it at United, I've always thought the best scenario would be he was director of football, Ole. He's overseeing the whole Man United way, making sure the right type of players coming in. That's what he's doing right now. But what he's not doing is what a coach does. That's what's missing from his whole thing. Alex Ferguson went and got Carlos Queiroz. Why can't we go and get someone like that? So then they can implement the football style with the players Ole's brought in. Then Ole's going to have a long-term career here. But if he continues to... Anyway, if he tries to play the same team again against Spurs, what's going to happen then? You think we're going to win? I'm scared of Tottenham. I'm scared of everybody. I'm scared of playing Preston. I'm scared of playing Brentford. I'm scared of playing Brighton. I'm scared.
Realistically, if we're talking about Ollie's last chance, he needs to be winning. What keeps him his job apart from, because
Nothing.
if you say he's got to
Nothing.
win, if you're saying he's
Nothing.
got to win, exactly. It's at what
Nothing.
point will a loss be the push? Is it the performance that will be the push? Is it, or is this just a case of is dead man walking? He will eventually be getting the boot once someone comes available.
You know what? If he wins the next 3 games on the trot, he'll keep his job. If he doesn't, he ain't keeping his job. I'm telling you now, he's not keeping his job. And the thing is he going to change something? Is he going to stick with Maguire and Lindelof and Fred and McTominay? Because if he does, see you later. Even if we win, get going, mate. Because you're not going to change anything, are you? You're just going to hope results are going to change by keeping everything the same.
And
we all know that doesn't happen.
And I think that's the thing. That's the problem. If you could see that there was potentially going to be a change, if you can see there was a change in formation or the way the things are set up, then you might be a bit more positive about the situation. But you've seen this before, and you saw it last season, and it just feels like it's going to go back to the same situation as it went before. Default, same in the middle, set up, and then maybe just have them try and work a bit harder. Because that's another thing that's has been criticised of Man United, is the lack of work rate all over the pitch.
But this is it. It's he's got the people who he feels he has to play. So then they're less work rate. Then he's got players who are playing pretty much out of position. Okay, Greenwood, he's playing up front, but he's playing on the right. But then obviously he wants to supply some ammunition for Cristiano. But if you've got Greenwood on the right, Rashford on the left, they're not trying to cross balls in. They're trying to score goals. Sancho's more of an assist maker. So why is he not playing? Because Greenwood's doing well. Why is Greenwood playing? Because he's doing well. Cristiano playing, obviously he's done well, but you just can't play them all. You've got to decide that the team comes first, and he's not doing it. And that's the problem we've got. Van der Beek is the gel between the two, the attack and the defence. We don't have anyone else that can move the ball quickly to open up them things. That's why you pass the ball and get it back. Pass the ball and get it back. To move the players around until you see an opening. And that's exactly what Van der Beek is a specialist at. Herrera did it when we had him, and now Van der Beek can do it. None of the other players can do it. Nothing, no one else. McTominay or Fred cannot do it. And Matic is a defensive midfielder who can then start playing balls through. That's why you saw a great combination of Matic and Van der Beek in that game in the preseason against Everton. We looked so much more in control of the ball and in control of the game when we had Matic and Van der Beek. What if he does not play Matic and Van der Beek against Spurs? He's having a laugh.
But do you generally see that happening? Like
he's got to, man. He's got to. He can't stick.
But the only reason why he would do that if he's run out of the ideas that he already had, and it's like, I've got nothing else. I've tried everything.
He has. He's got nothing else. He's tried the same thing.
Is that not? It's like it's admitted defeat though. Like if he's gonna play Matic and Van der Beek, he could have played Van der Beek all season, and everyone's been screaming for that.
Yeah, and that's what he has to do. You know, Arteta, what I like about him, is you guys struggle, but he's changing it up. He's checking to see what's what. Listen, let me try this. Let me try that. What's working better? This guy loses a game. He's like, back to Fred McTominay. There you go. You're back in. You're back in. No matter what. I lose the next game. Look, we way wide open. Scholes actually read from the Telegraph. He like went into time forward, forward into the future.
In his DeLorean,
wrote down a telegram and come back in the Back to the Future. Telling you exactly.
If you think you can play like this, wait until you play Man City or Liverpool. It'd be 4-0 at half time. And what was it?
Ridiculous.
4-0 half time.
Yeah. But this is what happened, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ollie, in his mad mind, against Atalanta, Ollie in his mad mind thinks, we started off not too good. We played all right. And it was just 2 goals out of nothing. And then we did well and we won the game. And then he's like, go again, boys. We were way open. We were wide open against Atalanta with 5 men out, as everyone's saying. and then he thinks we can go again against Liverpool and go out attacking with 4 attack. He said 4-2-4, some madness talk that I'm hearing. Let's go at them, boys. Liverpool, go at them. You mad? Leave them open. Leave them boys at the back open.
Salah, Mane, and Firmino.
Not even Mane, Jota. I knew he was gonna bang.
But the thing is, not being funny, Jota, he's not as
player.
he's not as equally as dangerous as Mane. Like I rate Mane more, but Jota is a very dangerous, very underrated player. He's work rate. He gets off about 3 or 4 shots on target every game, mate. He's a player. He's a player.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to ask this. This is to everyone, all in the comment section. I want to hear your responses in there as well. Don't be shy. Yeah, this is honesty hour. Yeah, honesty hour, guys. Nathan, is this as far as Ole can take Man United?
It seems that way. I can't see how he can take us any further than what he's doing, because I notice when he talks, when we lost, all he says is the players didn't do well enough. We didn't do well enough. Got to come back better next week. We've got to do better. And that's it. Like, and it's the same. It's like he's just walking through what happened in the game. Yeah, we played 25 minutes, we let in a goal, and then 35 minutes we let in a goal, and then we got 1 goal back, and it just wasn't good enough. We lost 2-1. We've got to be better next week. And it's the same team. And I just read it. Go on.
Go on. How much of a responsibility, because I'm going off the back of that one, I think you're about to point out, how much of a responsibility is this down to the players?
You know what? It's not down to the players that much. It is down to the players, but it's down to Ole picking the wrong team. Like, he knows what players need. He knows he doesn't know the combinations, otherwise he would have done it. When you look at other teams, Pep, he knows the combinations he needs. Klopp, he knows the combinations. Ole, looking at it, he's going, Maguire, Lindelof. And he keeps doing it. When he doesn't realise that he needs some pace in there. Then he did it, and then we absolutely looked solid. Like I said, Chelsea game, away at Stamford Bridge. Bailly came in with Maguire. That should have been it. I'm playing Bailly Maguire when Bailly's fit. Why not? He's been fit for a while now, so there's no excuse that he's injury. I understand if he's injury, then put Tuanzebe. Now we've got Varane, throw Varane in. But now Maguire's playing even worse. And we cannot do that 4-3-3 that we thought that Varane would be able to. You see, we already did it with Bailly. Mm-hmm. Now we brought Varane in and saying now we can do it. But we could already have done it with Bailly. So now, why not Varane and Bailly? Because he wants to stick with this Maguire. Let him stick with him, and we're going to continue doing the same old thing.
One of the other things which was criticised of the manager was that he gave Maguire the captaincy too early. Do you think that was the case?
No, I think to be fair, I couldn't. It was either him or Bruno, and Bruno was even more new, and he wasn't English. Uh-huh. So I don't mind Maguire getting the captaincy at the time. I was thinking, hurry up and give Maguire the captaincy because, it looks like the fit for it.
Yeah.
I don't mind about the captaincy. That's not a problem for me. Like, keep the captaincy, no problem. When you're playing, if we're going to play a system that's going to play with defensive stuff where we really counter-attack, play that way. Don't try and go all out then. If you're going to play Maguire, you cannot go all out. Same like England. You need Phillips and you need, what's his name? You need Rice. Calvin Phillips and Rice sitting there because Maguire's playing. You can't play one of them and go, yeah, let's put Grealish and Foden. You can't do it. Otherwise, you're going to get ripped. So this is our problem. Do we want to go all out attack and then sacrifice? We've got to look at where the weak link is if we want to go all out and start attacking like the Liverpools and the Cities. That's what Pep would do. He would look at his team and go, where am I weak if I try and attack? Right, let's swap that. Let's go buy someone to strengthen that up. We don't, and we're not. And we're absolutely getting ripped apart. It's not even like Liverpool came out of first gear. Not even first gear.
I think that's the problem.
5-0, and they could have won probably by 8 if they wanted to. And that wouldn't have been out of the question, would it? If I said they could have won by 8 if they wanted to. I'm telling you. He told them to chill out. He said, listen, guys, that's enough. That's enough. Don't score no more goals. Just chill.
I've been there.
You're taking a
I've
mick.
been there. I've been there, and I've been in them games where it's like they've done this as a mark of respect. They're not here to batter us. They're easing off now. I see this one. Ollie, he needs help. Give him help. I think one person that can help Ollie is himself. I'm sure he should be able to bring in another coach if he thinks he can. But
Yeah.
King Eric, what kind of help do you think he needs? A lot of people. So here I thought, how about the players? Ollie, it's the same I'm hearing. It's like a scapegoat.
They
You
can't
say
be the players. Look how good they are.
he's
Like,
not
look how
ready.
good all the players are.
He's not ready to. He's not the end of the road for him. Paul says it's not the end of the road. Anthony says yes. Garth says unfortunately yes. It seems like it's a mix. But things massively do need to change. One of them, you say, defensive problems. There's the talk of
You know what?
rifts.
You know what? When you look at the side, yeah,
Mhm.
you want to supply goals for Cristiano, yeah?
Yeah.
Who's going to supply the goals, Cristiano? If you look at the team, yeah, and you just think about the team, forget about the manager, think about who the starting lineup is, who is supplying crosses for Cristiano? Who? On a consistent basis. Like, who fluidly is going to get into nice position and keep crossing balls in? Because I can't think of anyone. The best player is for that at the moment is Shaw, and he doesn't even get up and cross balls at the rate that Robertson does. So we've got a team now where Cristiano relies on just service. This is why I said I wouldn't want Kane in my team. We've now got a 36-year-old Cristiano who is a bagsman, but ain't able to bag like he could do. I know he could be on double the goals by now. If he was I'm telling you, if he was at City or Liverpool, he would have double goals right now. Easily. Because they supply balls for fun in the box.
Mm-hmm.
De Bruyne, Walker, left side, everybody just puts balls in. Like, they're so nice and they're so lovely. When you're a striker, you know, when you see them balls come in, you're like, oh my gosh, I wish I was in that team. That them putting them balls in like that. Oh my God. United don't have that. So not only are we defensively not good enough, we don't have a team that's working for that type of player. So you might as well not play him because you've got to play to our strengths. So what's our strengths? Doing something out of nothing. Who are the players that can do something out of nothing? That's why
Rashford,
Rashford plays,
Greenwood,
plays,
Ronaldo,
and then
Bruno.
Ronaldo. Yeah, Ronaldo's kind of coming to the end of that now.
Yeah.
But like, if you have Sancho on the right, Greenwood up front, and Rashford on the left, that's probably our best front three for me. Right now, like Cristiano at his 36 years old and the way we're playing, I think we would be more effective if Greenwood was up front and you had Rashford and Sancho. That's just the way I see it. It's unfair, but if Cristiano was at Man City, I'd put Cristiano there because I know we'd get so many goals. It depends what team you're in. So that's what it is, isn't it? And Ollie ain't got the tactical nous to put together that team where we're still missing that kind of stuff. And that's where the extra things come to make you that top team. If you watch Bayern Munich, oh my gosh, do they play so fast and they get balls in the box for fun with so much quality.
Yeah, because they know that Lewandowski is there for the headers, or if Muller's playing, he'd be at the back post all the time, or because they know.
How do they get it in there though? If Lewandowski's at United, we won't get the ball in for him because we can't. Because they've got the quality. That's what it is. They've got the quality. Them fullbacks, Coleman putting that ball in, Nabry's putting that ball in. The midfielders are getting it even a bit tucked in, putting that ball in. Perfect balls round the back. You see them making the runs. This round the back, perfect pinpoint. United just don't really. Have you seen even Bruno? Like, I'm a bit like upset with his crossing at times. Like the other day, he was just like doing these kind of dipped balls every time. I'm like, how are you not crossing up? Come on, lad, you got the techers as well.
Yeah.
Cross that ball in, find him. You know, but we just don't have enough of that quality there. So I can see where we are lacking behind, and we're quite some way behind the big boys, to be honest.
Yeah, Well, I think one of the major things and the major disappointments for you guys is the fact that it was so exciting at the start of the season. You're talking about you're not with the big boys. You were meant to be one
Yeah,
of the big boys. I was
yeah,
talking about with Cristiano Ronaldo and the signings that you'd made. You should be a contender. You should be up there fighting for the league. And I think that's probably why it's a massive slap back down to earth when you're at this point in the season and the results just aren't going your way. I saw this comment here of leaving Salah unmarked 4 times is Ollie's fault. Come on, guys. That could be taken 2 ways. Like you could be talking to the comment section, but I feel like it's a response to us. What I will say to that, yeah, what I
organization, isn't
will
it?
say to that, yeah, is if it's a one-off, okay. But you conceded 4 goals against Leicester. You conceded a goal against Everton in a 1-1 draw at home. You conceded a goal against Villarreal. You lost 1-0 to Aston Villa. You lost 1-0 to West Ham. You conceded the goal against West Ham again. You conceded 2 against Young Boys. You conceded against Newcastle, and they are rubbish. You were
Should have
absolutely
let in about 3
run
against Wolves.
ragged against Wolves. You drew against Southampton, and okay, that one of the only shining lights of the season so far has been the game against Leeds. Now, there's a pattern there, yeah.
Yeah,
There's a defensive issue there, which has not been well. Okay, if you're sending your troops out every single day and you're telling them something and they're not taking it in, then there's a problem. There's a problem with either the players that you're putting out there or whether you and the instructions you're giving and how you're giving them instructions, because someone's not taking something in. This is not a one-off, and that's the problem. No one's sitting here saying everyone the manager's this, the manager's that, he has to get sacked. Yeah. People, I think the general consensus is they want Ollie to turn things round. Generally, the majority of people want Ole Gunnar Solskjær to succeed. Yeah, but when you're seeing the same thing happen again and again and again, you have to start questioning yourself. You have to ask yourself that question, especially when you're going to come into a pod and start ranting and raving and people are going to ask you questions. You've got to ask that question yourself. Is he able to turn this around? And if you look at the tools he's got and you look at everything he's done before, you're thinking, no.
Kiers, you know what? It wouldn't be a problem if you've seen he's trying different things. He's sticking with the same thing. And he's brought in players and they're just on the bench. Like, you can't pay 70-something million for Sancho, whatever it was, waiting a year to get him. He's your man. He's been your man for 2 years. And you bring him in, you don't start him on the right. The reason why is because you went and brought in Cristiano, which wasn't in your thoughts. And now you've ruined the whole rotation is ruined because Cristiano's just, I'm playing. He should have signed and been told, listen, Cristiano, I know you're the best. I know you're 36 now. You're not going to be playing every game. You're not going to be the main man every single week. It's just not going to be fair on our team. We want you here, but end of the day, you're not going to play as many games. You're 36 now. You know, if you don't want that, go to City or go somewhere else, because we'd love to have you here, but you're not going to pull rank on everything. Like, you're not. You're 36. And we're seeing it. There's so many people are now seeing it saying, Cristiano's not done anything today. He should be out of the team. Some people are saying he should be out. But then you think in the back of your mind, but he'll score a goal. But he'll get a goal for us. Oh, man. But it's hurting us. But he'll score. Oh. And you don't know what to do about it.
So do you think Cristiano Ronaldo's having a negative effect from his transfer into the club?
You know what? He scored so many goals, but it's still somewhat a negative in terms of how the team was going to rotate and how Solskjaer was going to set up his squads and week to week change it up. I'm telling you now, it's ruined things because Cavani now has to come on in a different position. He's not coming on up front no more. The formation's going to have to change when Cavani comes on. We're going to be lopsided and not be able to do nothing to help Cavani and Cristiano up front. Greenwood's not going to get to play up front now. He's got to play in Sancho's position. Mm-hmm. Sancho is not going to get his chance to just keep playing and do his job. Like, that's what's happened now. We are, like, when Cavani comes on, I'm thinking, what's the formation? Like, what's happening now? Like, what we doing? Who's on the left? Like, and then Cristiano's on the left, and you know he's not a runner no more. So it's not like he's going to run back and get forward, and it's not going to happen to the level we want it to happen. And it hurts, man, but it really is. It really is a problem because the team comes first, and he's here for 2 years. Cristiano's here for 2 years, and he's going to want to play every week, and it's going to ruin a lot of things now. I think it is. I love the fact that he came back. I was so happy, but really looking at it, it's tough, man. It's tough. It's tough because I'm looking at the overall picture. I'm not just looking at it as one player. Like I say, Pogba sometimes got to not play because he should be fighting for Bruno's spot. Whoever's playing well out of them two play. Bruno come out, Pogba comes in. Pogba come out, all of that stuff. Van der Beek should be playing as that second midfielder, and we should have one defensive midfielder. That's what we should have. And then if Maguire got to come out because he can't handle one-on-ones, he got to come out. And that's the way we're going to reach them higher levels. If we want to stay 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, stick with Maguire, Lindelof and keep playing Fred and McTominay. But we are not going to beat the big boys with not all them players. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I hear you. Is he going to make it through these next 3 games? Tottenham. It's tough. It's tough. I saw it earlier. Tottenham, Atalanta, Man City.
All right, let me tell you now. If we play Man City, with Maguire and Lindelof, we're letting in more than 5. 100%. And I'm not going to predict that we're going to win that game. If I see that this guy is playing the same players again, we are getting battered. Because Man City are not going to mess around with us this time. We've already shown we're consistently open door. It's not like the door's closed with the lock, the lock's not on. The door's just wide open and there's no key in the door. And it can't lock. The lock's broken. It's just open. And that's what's going to happen against City. We'll get ripped to shreds. And that will definitely be his last game. If he doesn't change it. He's got to change it. We cannot afford to play with that same team again. You cannot say go again, boys. He cannot.
What did he change the last time it was going wrong and he shored it up defensively?
Fred and McTominay, they both just sat in front of the back four and did not go forward and press.
So what's stopping him from doing that again?
He can do that, but it's not good enough. That's not going to get us to beat City, number one. We might lose.
No, but it's going to keep it might keep him his job.
Yeah. But it's not, because we're still going to lose. We play that.
But realistically, if you lose to Man City, if you beat Tottenham, beat Atalanta, and lose to Man City, he's not getting the sack.
No, that's good. That's great.
Because no one expects. No, but surely it's the manner that you do these things in as well.
Yeah.
Because if you're going back to, that's what I'm saying. He can quite easily play these players to keep his job. And
yeah, but forget it then. Get out.
But the results are still.
We're not going forward. Yeah, but we're not going to go forward if we stick with that team. Like, we can't stick with the same formation, same team, same players, same like everything, and just get the good results. Because sooner or later, them results are going to come back again. And we're going to be 7th, 8th, 9th in the league. End of the season. We're not going to win majority of games playing with that team. You get what I mean? So we could beat Atalanta, and we could somehow get a beat Spurs. But we're not going to beat City. Then we're going to play a Brentford. We're going to lose. We're going to play Brighton. We're going to lose. We play like that. We're going to lose to them boys. We play with them boys. We're going to lose to Brighton and Brentford. Mark my words. So I don't want to see that happen. I really don't. So something on the pitch needs to be seen different. You need to get a different coach so we can start seeing different patterns going on and start playing proper football. And then obviously, even these players, they might be able to actually implement it. It don't mean you have to change the players. Maybe he sticks with his players and then has them playing a certain way. Because remember, Van Gaal came in, made them play a certain way where they kept like 80% of the ball, didn't do much, but they had 80% of the ball with the same, not the best players. So if them players could do it, why can't these? But now you've got really, really good players going forward. So now you're going to be keeping the ball and getting goals.
Has Richard Arnold taken the job full time yet over Ed Woodward?
I have no idea.
Do you
No
think?
idea.
Do you think once he comes in, he may potentially be able to maybe just give Ollie a nudge to maybe bring in another coach that can change things up?
I hope so. I really, really hope he just gets a move on with that, gets a coach in ASAP, because that's what's going to change everything for him. If he wants to keep his job, that's the only thing I can see happening. Because he definitely don't have the ideas. He definitely doesn't. It's been 3 years. He has not. I have not seen a pattern of play since he came. I've seen good football. I've seen good counter-attack. I've seen him letting them just be free and do well. I've seen that. I've seen him defend really well. I've seen him obviously put so many players back and counter. That's when we had Dan James playing and Rashford.
Well,
And that,
yeah, and he's doing the job that he was doing at Man United at Leeds now, which is a lot of running, and you can actually see why Ollie played him, because it's that extra defensive structure to drop into those positions. There was talk a couple of weeks ago about Rennie Mullerstein coming back. Would you be excited about that? Because he's a well-renowned coach in the football world.
Look, if he can implement anything good, I'll be excited. If I see changes once he's come back in, I'll be excited. But I just want to see the changes. Like, I'm just watching the match and I'm looking for them patterns. That's what I do when I watch matches. I don't just watch the game and wait for goals. Like, I'm looking like that ball should be there. He should be making the run. You know, I'm looking at all that stuff because that's the way I think. And that's because that's the way I've been brought up now. I've learned the patterns and how to move and where players should be. And then when you don't see it and you're like, huh? How comes there's no one? Huh? Why is there no options for the defenders? How is that possible? You've got much more players there. Why are you getting shut down and losing the ball? You guys are Premiership defenders. How are you losing the ball so easy? And then that time when Maguire is standing there and the player was just coming to the ball and took it, and he was standing there waiting for him to come and take it. Remember, goalkeeper plays it out to Maguire. He's out at left back and he's standing there, and the player's shutting him down, and he's like, I'll just wait for it to get to me. If it don't, and the player just wins it, who cares? You are allowed to move, so it's weird.
Yeah. Just gonna go through the comment section before we move to the next one. What's he saying? Nathan, educate the people on the mechanics of the team. Putting the players on the pitch with no instructions does not give you a good team, just good players.
Yeah, exactly.
He was talking about, I think Pedro was talking about Cristiano Ronaldo. He will finish Rashford. Hopefully not. What else we got here? I think Paul was saying something. Fans are waiting for Ollie to foul. I think there's a certain. You'd be blind to say that no, they don't, because there is a certain, and I'd definitely say it as a minority that are like that.
I don't want him to fail. He's done well, man. He's done well up to now.
And I think
it's just annoying.
Yeah, one thing I made a point of putting on here was: do you think Ollie gets the credit that he deserves for bringing in the players, for bringing the team together? That when it was on its knees at one point before he came in, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, and everybody that I've heard talk about Ollie, most of them, like 90% of people, recognize the great things he's done for us. Like since we were, I was at the verge of not watching United no more on a weekly basis.
You're not the only. Everyone I speak to said that. I was speaking to Anthony the other day. He said that.
Mate,
I was speaking to Garth the other day. He said the same thing. Speaking to two other Man United fans, they all said the same thing. Under Mourinho, they'd given up watching. They couldn't do it.
Seriously,
the football was bad.
What game was it?
It was just, you could feel there was the dressing room was gone.
Did we get to the final? Did we get to a final or semi-final against Chelsea in the cup and we got beat? And I was like, I can't believe I wasted my whole day watching that. I couldn't believe it. I've never done that in my life yet. Watched a match where I said to myself, I can't believe I wasted my time watching this. Like, it was so bad. It was unbelievable. So I was like, I swear I can't watch football no more. Like, I can't watch my team. I ain't watching no more. I swear I'm not gonna. And then I seen it on yellow writing on Sky. I was like, I can watch United again, you know. And then Ollie comes in, and he makes us free again. He allows us to go and attack and do really well, and that's what's weird, isn't it? Like, because that happened, I know what it's like, because you lose a game or two, everyone's calling for your head when it's United, yeah? So
Mm,
then he's like, I can't lose the next game or two, otherwise
mm,
I'll lose my job. So I need to shore things up and then start winning again. So then I can afford that next game or two one day when it comes. So that's why he comes in the job as a caretaker and it's no problem. Yeah, go and attack, do what you're doing, feel good again. But when he's got the job, it's a pressure situation of, I don't want to lose this. So I
mm,
better go defensive at times. We're not good enough defensively here, so I've got to do this. And so he had to play with what he was playing with, and he did a great job. I got to give him props. He did a great job at using the players he had and buying players for that period of that rebuild. Like, Dan James was a great player for that rebuild. Like, the work rate, what he needed to do. Obviously, we didn't want to see that kind of level, but we had to get on with that to
mhm,
get to where we are today. Because
mm.
them players weren't going to come. The Sancho wasn't going to come while we weren't in the Champions League. Them
Yeah.
players were just not going to come.
A lot
So
of a lot of fans
it's good.
forget that. A lot of fans forget that because they feel that clubs can just run off their name,
Nah,
and the fact
no.
that it's Man United, the fact that it's this, that it's that. But players will look at league positions. Like, players will look at whether you're in Europe. Players will look at how long you've been out of Europe, how the form's been over the last couple of seasons. These things are things that players will look at, wouldn't they?
Exactly. So, oh mate, it's so, you know, it's annoying. There's so many parts to this to get it right, and it's like we all saying what we're saying. Ollie knows what, he's probably thinking, what do I need to do? And I've heard obviously all of the conversations, the rumors that the players are talking this and talking that. I
Mm-hmm.
really hope they've all made him think, like, you know what, you're right, Eric Bailly, you're right. I should have given you a chance. Hey, Van der Beek, sorry, mate. I've been really not giving you a chance. I don't know why I've not been giving you anything. Like, I should give you a chance. The boys are not playing well. Give them a chance. That's what they're saying. When the boys are not playing well, why are you not giving your other players a chance? Give them a chance. Let's see what they got in a Premiership game with all the other big boys around them. Not in a cup game where all of the players are not playing. All of them. And all of the players who are not match sharp are just playing. Of course, you're going to get an average performance more often than not. Because that's what happens when players are sitting on the bench every week. You can't carry 11 players. You're all just off the sharpness, every one of you. So it's got to change, and I hope he does it. But I can't see how it's going to be possible now. I can't. We
Yeah.
got City coming up. Even the Spurs team, they're above us. I can't even believe that.
I
I thought they were long gone.
so did I.
They're above
So did
us.
I.
And Arsenal
But
around the corner
I,
after your
I
struggles.
yeah, I genuinely think Man United are going to beat Tottenham. I think it's going to be one of them rallying games that get together. Tottenham are defensively, they look like they're starting from, like, setting up from the back. It's a very much a Nuno Santo team, but I think Man United will do Tottenham.
Yeah.
I think they beat Atlanta, and I think the Man City game will be tighter than what most people think. I just think it's gonna be one of them situations where they will just pull together. But it will need such a long run because there's so much scrutiny on him. There's so many eyes on him that people are going to be looking at the smallest points, the way they play, if they do win a game, how they've won it, if they've lost a game, how they've lost it. So many different things, and the pressure is just going to be mounting on him. Um, if he was to go, who would you want to take over?
I've been obviously listening to three of the other, the three candidates and that. And to be honest, the best fit would be Ten Hag, but he's not going to come because he's at Ajax. He's doing a great job, and but he plays the way we play, that we'd love to play. Um, he brings through youth. He rebuilds teams. He does everything, and he's battering teams right now. His football is tight at the back. They've not conceded many goals. I think it's 3 goals this whole season so far in the Champions League and the league. They're ripping it up. They destroyed Dortmund the other day. They beat up Sporting Lisbon. They're on fire, and
Hmm.
that's a lot of his work.
Yeah.
Now you've got Conte, who's another one. He's a serial winner already. He's gone clubs and just won things. The only thing that I was saying with him was, if he does come and he does go to this three at the back business, then a lot of our players are not going to play. And I don't see the point in that. All of Ollie's work getting undone. Like,
Yeah.
he's done so much work. We've bought so many players. You can't bring in a Conte who's going to say, nah, no Sancho, no this, no that, no Rashford, no Greenwood. We're going to have Cristiano and Cavani up front, and let's go buy some wing backs. You know, you can't really do that unless he's going to figure out a way to. He's looked at the players and thought, you know what, you could become a wing back, or you could, Sancho, you're going to be a wing back. You know, it's going to be a bit weird, but I just want to, you can't have, with his formation, like I'm saying, you
Hmm.
need quality on them wingback positions because they're the ones who supply the balls. We ain't got that kind of quality unless you're going to play the lot and hope that he obviously continues to play and he doesn't have so much defensive duties. And then you've got Shaw on one side who he might have to get more out of him. I don't know, but I just don't see that being a good enough supply like Trent and Robertson. That's ridiculous, you know. But we don't have them kind of players. You don't have an Alonso and what's his name now? Right wing back now. They've got Reece James. You don't have none of that. You don't
Hmm.
have a Hudson-Odoi who can. Hudson-Odoi can kind of play there, can't he? Victor Moses did get kind of transformed from a winger to a wing back, but again, you got to have some mad engine to do that.
It's also a massive change. It's also a big change. Like you said, the work that Ole Gunnar Solskjær has done cannot be undone. He seems to have
Yeah,
brought together a Man United team which has a Man United blueprint. It has
yeah,
they're the type of players that Man United bring in. So
yeah.
if he was to change, I think he would have to still be someone who's going to be working with the players that you've got,
You
and
know
then
what
trying to
though?
change things there.
I feel like it's gonna be Conte. I feel like it's just gonna be Conte, and he's gonna do something. He's just gonna have to change it up somehow, and use these players to make that work. I think it's gonna be Conte, because who else is gonna take it? Like you said earlier, Conte is the only one who's gonna take the job, especially even though it's mid-season. Ten Hag is already at his club. Zidane is not really even English, and he probably wouldn't want it anyway. He doesn't speak English, so that'll be a bit of a barrier as well. But he does play the formations that we do like as well. So again, it looks more like Conte's goal could be the manager.
Hmm.
So it'll be interesting because he knows how to win and he knows what he needs to win. That's what I like about him. He needs no nonsense. Listen, I need that player. Go get me him. He'd say it before he comes in. Listen, I've seen the team. I know how they play. I need this guy and this guy. I need a right wing back, a Kieran Trippier who can put in the quality for me. I need this central defensive midfielder, and I want you to do whatever with Maguire. He might even play because it's a free, so he might
Mhm.
be able to do really well in that. So Maguire can be really, really good if he's played in the right way. That's the thing. Maybe he can get the best out of him with a three at the back. But I'd rather it be Bailly, Varane, and Maguire than Lindelof, Varane, and Maguire. You've got to have some ball play. The thing is, Lindelof's the best ball player at the back, along with Varane. And then you need them ball players at the back if you're going to play three at the back. So, again, it's a tough one again. It's a tough one.
It
It's a
is. It
very
is.
tough
It
one.
is. It is. It is.
It's
All
a
right.
very, very tough one.
What does he need to do before we finish up? What does he need to do in this next 5 games
For me,
to
I'm
make Man
playing.
United great again? Get your hats on,
No,
boys and girls.
he can't do it that quick, yeah? That's number one. But not one thing he can do is he can get us playing a lot more fluid football by having Van der Beek in this side. And he can have us being a lot defensively stronger by
Mhm.
giving Bailly his chance and letting Varane play. Let's see how they get on. If they don't get on well over the next 3 games, 4 games, whatever, then at least they've had their chance, And then they're not good enough. But I'm telling you now, they're going to be damn sight better than Lindelof and Maguire.
But
I'm telling you now.
As a captain, Harry Maguire, should he be rounding up the troops and telling them to buck up their ideas and get it sorted out?
Yeah, but he ain't the type, is he? You
He
can
must
see
be the type. He's got what
he's
is
not
he?
doing well enough himself. How's he going to be playing the way he's playing and telling
as a
everyone to
captain,
fix up?
come on, as a captain, you can't
But that's
shrill,
why,
you can't shrink and hide. You got
yeah,
as a captain, same as a goalkeeper, there ain't no hiding, Whether
yeah,
you're
you're
in
right.
bad times, you've got to rally the troops. You got to pick yourself up quicker than anyone else and then rally and pick them up.
But the thing is, he's not having a bad day. That's just him. So for me, probably shouldn't be captain then, because if he can't lead by example for me, unless you play the formations that's going to protect him, then he can lead by example. It all depends how you're going to play. So if Ollie decides, listen, I'm going Fred and McTominay, and you guys are not going to move from in front of him, then you can have his job and he can do well defensively. And then we just have to hope that we nick a goal. We just have to hope that we nick a goal. But then we're going to be upset because we're playing mad football. Like, we're not going to have the ball. We're going to try and nick a goal against everyone. Like, everyone's going to be like, okay, we won, but why are we not controlling this game? Why are we looking like they can score? And why are they having all 10, 20 chances and we're having 3 chances? Against the big, even the little boys, that's what will happen. So, again, we're not going to be satisfied with that kind of football. So that's the only way he gets wins. Last season was ridiculous, by the way. If you think about it, the amount of times we went down, that's defensive problems. We went down, we let goals in every game and then came back and won. Why are we letting goals in every game? Because we're not good enough at the back. That's the reality of it. And okay, we win the game and nobody even really talks about it too much. But this year, it's just that we've not scored more goals and won the games. We've actually not scored and we've let in the goals. It's the same. And we're playing Fred and McTominay to protect. And we're still letting in the goals. So what is that? Why can likes of Leicester play their football and not letting him out of goals? We're letting in. And they play 4-4-2 at times. And 3-5-2 and whatever. So Ollie got to change it, mate. He's got to try to use the rest of his squad and see how they get on. And that's what I believe. That's my thoughts on what I think should happen.
All right. Well, all we know is Ollie's got game by game, whatever it is, he's got to get the momentum going. He's got to get his team winning. Otherwise, it will be curtains. One thing I will say, people, whatever your thoughts are on the team, remember you are one fan base. Remember you are a Man United fan base. Yeah, you stick together. You support the team. Yeah, this is not.
I'll be watching.
This is not. Everyone has a difference of opinions. It is what it is. As long as you want your team to win, that's very different to what there's some people are out there. So don't make that divide. Don't make that split in the fan base. Whatever your opinions are, because I'm with a team where there is that split, and it ain't nice. It's very hard to come back from that. So
I just read something down there. Let's address that point. King Eric has said not enough said on the players tonight. I thought that I mentioned Maguire, Lindelof not doing well enough, and to be honest,
McTominay not working.
Cristiano Ronaldo ain't doing the job. Cristiano Ronaldo not doing the job. Greenwood not being able to play in his position. Rashford. I mentioned all the boys and a lot about what's happening and why it's happening. So I really did think I did cover a lot of that, to be fair. And the fact that we're not playing well because of the structure again, which I've been banging on about since I joined. Since I joined you, Kieran. Yeah. Since I joined you, I said, no structure is killing us. So that's what it is. It's not the players. Like, the players are one thing, but if you got you're given no direction, you're just going to try and play. Imagine going out on the pitch and playing a tournament with your friends. Nobody says nothing to anyone. There's no managing. You just play. And if you play well, you play well. If you don't play well, you don't play well. And you say, boys, this week, let's do better. That's it. Like, it's not like, yeah, you do this, you're going to be... No, just let's do better.
But what I will say about that is, like, if you watch the rating show, the rating show will be like a 45-minute show solely on the players with like a 2-second bit at the end about how the manager's done. So it's like it's I, yes, to a certain extent, yeah, the players are to blame, but you have to have that same energy when you're talking about who puts them players out. You have to. You have to. The manager sets up the team, picks the players, does the tactics. The players go onto the pitch and are meant to follow those tactics. So there's either two issues. They're not following the manager's instructions, yeah, or the players aren't good enough. Now, everyone knows this squad is good enough to be challenging for the league, or at least comfortably in top four. Right now, that's not the case. And it looks like that might be jeopardised this season if they carry on the way they're playing, in the manner they're playing. So something needs to change. No one's necessarily saying that the manager has to go. He has to change something. He has to change something, whether that's the personnel on the pitch or the instructions or the way he's giving them instructions. There's nothing else. Football's a very simple game. It's very simple. Like there's like when people say the players are good enough and they can go on the pitch and do their own thing, they really can't. Not to a certain extent, because you won't be playing next week. Like if I went onto the pitch here and I decided, you know what, I'm going to do my own thing, do you think I'm going to get picked next week by the manager because I've gone my own way? No way. Like no, not a chance in hell is that going to happen. So, all right,
you can see that with Pep, innit? Pep's players that are ripping it up, and then he's getting mad at them because they didn't stand more meters to the line. Like, why are you standing in 2 more meters? I told you, get out there. Put some paint on your feet. That's what he's saying. Because it's exact words that you need to follow. You're doing this. You're defending that man. You're picking up this man. We're going man to man, or we're going zonal. You're picking up. You know, they choose who you pick up. They choose what you do. They choose how many men come back for corners, how many go forward, who's staying back. That player's quick, so you need to be here. There's so many things get told, and you have to remember all these things to do, and that's what you do. Yeah. If one of you go forward, the other one, you can't go forward as well. You've got to sit. One of you go forward at a time. You know, you do this. Everything. Keep it simple today, you. You know, Mason, stop shooting all the time. Make sure if you can see your player, find him. I need you to find him. Make sure you stay out wide, keep it wider, so then the fullback's more occupied with you and it leaves more space for the midfielders to drive through. All that kind of stuff is said if he's saying it. But it looks like he ain't saying anything. That's what my point is. He's saying nothing.
Yeah, no, Paul. Shaw leaving 4 players unmarked is Shaw's fault.
Sure.
Well,
how could Shaw's fault?
It's definitely he can't mark all 4. He can't mark all 4, but
I'll explain that in a minute. Go on.
Yeah, Shaw not marking them 4 or one of them 4 players is Shaw's fault on that pitch at that time. Shaw's fault. But is this the only time where you've seen Man United players not marking a forward or not marking the defender? And that's the problem. It's not a one-off. Man United haven't gone 6 games without conceding a goal, and then in these last 3 games have conceded goals. They've conceded a goal in all bar 1 game this season, I think it is. Yep. And you conceded 2 against Young Boys. Against Young Boys. I don't think we understand the level that Young Boys play at. They're not even like, I'm pretty sure they're the most average team in the Champions League. Like the most below average. They are not a good team. And you can see 2 against them. Like
this is why that happened. Greenwood came over, yeah. Wan-Bissaka had to come. He decided he's coming. So when Wan-Bissaka goes, the rest of the defense have to come across. So what happened is Wan-Bissaka went, Lindelof went, Maguire went, and Shaw had to come. That's leaving the furthest man empty, open. This is what you have to do. You have to leave the furthest man open. But it came so far across that the man's open. Rashford probably should have been getting back, but he wasn't. He stayed up front and cheated, or maybe, you know, when they say it's cheating, like if you don't follow your man and then we win it, we can go and win the ball and then he could be on the attack. But that's what you do. You kind of take them chances. And if Rashford should have come back, that way he would have marked that man and we would have been all right. You know, imagine Rooney playing there. You see Rooney running right back there and stopping that, you know. So that's what would happen. So, you know, that's what happened there. But Liverpool just tore us apart quick. They took advantage of the overload quick.
Because they say it. Because And before we go, the reason why they did that is because he's seen how open Man United have been, in the last how many games, and he's capitalised on it. That is why. Because Klopp has seen the openings that Man United have left, and he's capitalised on it, which is what every manager seems to be doing. However, I don't think that's going to happen against Tottenham. They're not attacking enough. They're not forward thinking enough. And if they do, maybe this is the week that Kane starts to hear form. Nah, this is different. This is different. This is Tottenham. This is Tottenham.
If Maguire and Lindelof are playing, you watch.
Man United will beat Tottenham. Man United will beat Atalanta. And against Man City, it won't be as like devastating as what you think. All right, we need to wrap this one up. Anyway, yeah. It's been a lovely pod. I know we're like brothers and sisters. We argue, but we still love each other. All right, yeah. So we got a big one tomorrow. We've got Rohan Ricketts on for the preview of the Tottenham game at 2:30 Friday, 2:30, 29th of October, 2:30, 14:30, 100 hours. I know you're all going to be there. Make sure you get there. Make sure you get your questions in for Rohan. It's going to be a good one, just like the Elmo Heskey one. We've got plenty more guests coming to your way as well. All right.
Big one.
I feel drained after this one. Look what you done.
It was tough. I didn't want to be so negative, but you got to talk about the bad that's going on. This is the negative times.
Not being funny. Not being funny. This was the first pod after the 5-0 drubbing. All right?
Yeah.
So we can't come on here and talk rose-tinted glasses. There's got to be a firing squad at someone. There's got to be asking questions at someone. All right? Yeah, and we did the players the other day. All 13 of them, whatever it was. We did the players the other day. There was 4s in there. There were 2s in there. They got obliterated. Yeah. And now it's the manager's turn. All right? And no one was saying Ole out. We don't do that over here.
Right. Nah.
Thank you for joining us tonight, Nathan.
Thanks a lot. It's been good.
All right. And thank you for joining us, everyone. I hope you're not too upset, people. We don't want to upset you. But, we just got to say our opinions. And if you don't give our opinions, there ain't no point in us being here. All right? So, it's all love. Peace out, people. Stay safe and wash your hands.